There's a moment in every system design interview that separates the people who get the job from the people who don't. It's not when they draw the diagram. It's not when they name drop Kafka. It's when the interviewers say about how much storage will this need. Most candidates freeze, they mumble, they ask if they can use a calculator. The senior engineer already done the math out loud in about 10 seconds. That's because there is a small set of numbers every engineer keeps memorized. The speed of memory, the speed of disk, how many requests a server can make, how big a kilobyte actually is. With these numbers, every system design problem becomes a 5-minute estimation, not a 50-minute guess. In the next 10 minutes, I will give you that list. Memorize it once, use it forever. Let's get into it. Back of the envelope math is exactly what it sounds like. You are doing rough calculation on the spot with the numbers you already know. No spreadsheet, no calculators. Just memorize fact and quick multiplication. It's how engineer answers question like, can a single server handle this load? Or how much will the database grow per year? Or will this fit in RAM? Or do we need disk? The game depends on two things. First, knowing a small set of universal numbers like how long it takes to read from RAM versus disk. How many requests per second a typical server handles. Second, being comfortable multiplying round numbers in your head. That's it. The reason this skill is so valuable is that it gives you the order of magnitude of an answer. Will this take 10 megabytes or 10 terabytes? You don't need precision. You need to be in the right ballpark. The difference between this fits on one server and this needs 100 server is what every system design decision hinges on. Stick this in your brain forever. System design is not about precise numbers. It's about being in the right ballpark fast. Back of the envelope math gets you there. Here's the analogy that makes this whole thing click. The problem with computer time is that it's invisible to humans. 1 nanosecond, 100 nanosecond, 10 milliseconds. These all sound the same. They all sound like fast, but they are not the same. Some of them are a million times slower than others. So let's do a trick. Let's scale up time so we can actually feel it. Pretend 1 nanosecond, the time it takes the CPU to read from its fastest cache, is 1 second. A heartbeat. Now what does everything else become? Reading from L2 cache, 4 seconds, still quick. Reading from RAM, about a minute and a half, you can grab a coffee. Reading from SSD, one whole day, going home and coming back the next morning. Reading from spinning hard disk, 4 months. Pending a request across the ocean and back, 5 years. You would be in college and graduating before that request finishes. Same nanoseconds, same milliseconds, but now you can feel the difference. The reason every senior engineer obsesses over avoiding disk reads and network calls is now obvious. It's not slower. It's a waiting 4 months instead of 1 second. When you write a code that hits a database for every loop iteration, you are choosing to wait 4 months when you could have waited 1 second. This single mental model will change how you write code. There are 3 reasons memorizing these numbers is non-negotiable. Reason 1, interviews. Every system design interview has an estimation moment. How much storage? How many servers? What's the bandwidth? If you can do this math in your head, you sound senior. If you can't, you sound like you are never thought about scale. The number themselves are the prep. Reason 2, snip test at work. Your manager ping you on Slack. Can we just store this in memory? If you know your dataset is 2 terabyte and the single server has 256 gigabytes of RAM, the answer is obvious in 10 seconds. Without these numbers, you would need a 30 minutes meeting. Reason 3, avoiding a stupid decisions. Half the over-engineering you see at companies comes from the people who skipped the math. They add Kafka for scale without checking whether a single Postgres database could handle the load. It usually can. The number stops you from making decisions based on vibes. Here's where we are going. Two diagrams together. They are the entire interview prep package. The first one is the latency hierarchy. Memorize this in order, fastest to slowest. L1 cache, the fastest memory in your CPU, about 1 nanosecond. L2 cache, 4 nanosecond, main memory. RAM, about 100 nanosecond. That's the 100 times slower than L1, but still ridiculously fast on human scale. Then we jump SSD, random read. 100 microsecond, 1000 times slower than RAM. A network round trip inside the same data center is roughly 500 microsecond, same ballpark as an SSD read. Then we jump again hard. A spinning hard disk zig, 10 milliseconds, 100,000 times slower than RAM. And finally, a network request from India to a server in the US, about 150 milliseconds, the slowest thing your system will ever do in normal operation. The takeaway, there are roughly 6 orders of magnitude between L1 and cross-continent network call. That's the difference between 1 second and 10 years. This is why caching matters. This is why CDN exists. This is why you put your database in the same region as your servers. The second diagram is your throughput and storage cheat sheet. Power of 2 first. 2 to the 10th is 1024, roughly 1000 or 1 kilobyte. 2 to the 20th is roughly a million or 1 megabyte. 2 to the 30th is a billion or 1 gigabyte. 2 to the 40th is a trillion or 1 terabyte. Memorize these 4 lines and you can do storage math instantly. 10 million users with a 1 kilobyte profile each. 10 gigabytes. You just did that in your head. Now throughput. A single modern web server handles about 1000 to 10,000 requests per second, depending on what each request does. A SQL database, single instance, similar range. Redis or memory cache, way more, 100,000 queries per second and up. A typical server's network connection, around 100 gigabytes per second, and SSD reads sequentially at around 500 megabytes per second. These are not exact. They are not meant to be. They are the rough shape of reality. So you can answer, will it fit in 5 seconds instead of 50 minutes? I want to be honest with you about something most courses won't tell you. The good news, once you memorize these numbers, system design problems start to feel small. The numbers do most of the work. You stop arguing about architecture and start arguing about which trade-off matches the math. The bad news, some engineers turn into number snob. They quote latency like trivia, never build anything, and look down on people who don't have them memorized. Don't be that person. These numbers are a tool. They help you decide faster. They are not the point. Also, the number shifts over time. SSD got way faster. Network is cheap now. Treat these as a rule of thumb, not gospel. The ratio between them is what matters. Cache is way faster than RAM. RAM is way faster than disk. Disk is way faster than network across the world. The ratio stays true even when the absolute numbers don't. Even from this one video, you can confidently handle 4 estimation questions every interviewer loves. Question 1. How much storage do we need for 1 billion users with a 1 megabyte profile each? 1 billion times 1 megabyte is 1 petabyte. You said it in 2 seconds. The interviewer is already nodding. Question 2. Can a single database handle this load? A single SQL database does about 1000 to 10,000 queries per second. If your traffic is below that, the answer is yes, and you don't need sharding, replication or microservices. Most apps lives in this range. Question 3. Should this be in RAM or on disk? Look at the size. If it fits in RAM, you read it constantly. Put it in RAM. Should this be in RAM or on disk? Look at the size. If it fits in RAM and you read it constantly, put it in RAM. RAM is 100 times faster than SSD. The cost difference for small data is trivial. Question 4. Why is this API slow? Look at the latency budget. If your API takes 500 milliseconds and a cross-region database call in 150 milliseconds, you can only do 3 of them before you are out of budget. The math tells you exactly where to optimize. That last one has saved me dozens of hours of useless guessing. Trust me. Before you go, take 30 seconds to log this in. Takeaway 1. Memorize the latency hierarchy. L1, L2, RAM, SSD, data center, network, disk, cross-region network. If L1 is 1 second, disk is 4 months, cross-continent is 5 years, the ratio change how you write code. Takeaway 2. Memorize the power of 2. 2 to the 10th is 1000. 2 to the 20th is millions. 2 to the 30th is billion. 2 to the 40th is trillion. Combine this user times byte and you can do storage math in your head. Takeaway 3. Memorize the throughput rule of thumb. A web server or a SQL database handles 1 to 10,000 requests per second. Redis handles 100,000 plus. A server pushes 100 megabytes per second over the network. In the next video, we will move from foundations to the building blocks of every system. The client-server model, how a browser actually talks to a server, what's really happening every time you tap a button on your phone. If this helped you, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. The full playlist is in the link below. See you in the next video.